Hello class, it's me Neal. Please try to ignore the animals around here. I live in a crazy family. Basically, my teaching style or teaching approach would be that of a behaviorist or behaviorism, which is learning that occurs because of a response to a stimuli. Social learning, the theory that human and animal behavior can be explained in terms of conditioning, without appeal to thoughts or feelings. Psychological disorders are best treated by altering behavior patterns. Learning by observing and imitating others is key to this style of learning. Basically saying that if you see someone do something that gets a positive response, you will do it in the same way that they did. If you watch someone and they are hurt or get a negative response from what they've done, you probably won't do it the same way they did. And in the same sense, if you do something and it gets a positive response, you'll do it the same way from then on. If you do something and it gets a negative response, you will change the way you do it. Pavlov was a behaviorist. This means that his theory focused on observable behavior, because behavior can be measured and thought cannot. Human mind should be interpreted as a black box that cannot be opened. Only what goes in the box and what comes out of the box can be studied. Pavlov used a dog to demonstrate classical conditioning. His most famous experiment was that the dog would come to get food when Pavlov would ring a bell. When the dog came to eat its food, it would salivate. This experiment caused the dog to salivate when it heard the ringing of the bell. This was because the dog became conditioned to the fact that the bell meant food. Bandura. He is known as the originator of social learning theory and the theoretical construction of self-efficacy, and is also responsible for the influential Bobo doll experiment. This experiment was Bandura would take children, place them in a room with a Bobo doll. They would act friendly towards the doll and not aggressive. After being shown a video of children who were aggressive towards the doll, the children would then return to the room with the doll and they too acted aggressively towards the doll. Lastly, Skinner. Skinner invented the apparent conditioning chamber, also known as the Skinner box. He is a firm believer that the idea that human free will was actually an illusion, and any human action was the result of the consequences of that same action. If the consequences were bad, there was a high chance that the action would not be repeated. However, if the consequences were good, the action that led to it would be reinforced. He called this the principle of reinforcement. My teaching style will be that of essentialism. I believe that schools are responsible to teach 4 core curriculum classes. Every student is going to need to learn and know English, math, science, and history if they are going to be able to fit into society today. These 4 core curriculum classes are the most important things you can learn in school. Everything else can be learned through behaviorism or watching other people in society, family, friends, stuff like that. You're not going to learn science, English, math, and history from watching anyone else. You will need to learn this from a teacher. In this first video, you can see how the kids are allowed to do their own thing, make their own decisions, and go their own way. Basically, the coach is always going to be very close. He is going to condition the players to do what he wants them to do through praise and criticism. He will let them make their own decisions, but when they do, he will either praise them or scold them and tell them what they should do differently.
Quickly, he's the defensive player. You have an advantage. That's it, Blue. Spread out. You got it. There you go. Good trap. Good ball, Spencer. Good. Turn it quickly. Look at the other side, Catherine. There you go, other side. Blue, fill that gap. Here we go, Blue. Here we go. That's yours, Catherine. Oh!
In this video, you can see the coach encouraging the players with clapping and praise, as his players are passing out of trouble and playing the way he desires them to play. You can also see him using analogies to paint pictures so that the kids can better understand what he is wanting of them. He uses a house to demonstrate the positions that they need to be in, which two defense, two midfielders, and a forward. He says the top of the house, the sides of the house, and the bottom of the house. You can watch as the players find these positions when he says this analogy.
Good. Good, Catherine. Good move. Spread out, Blue. Pressure. Look around. That's it. Picking up early, Blue. Other side. Yeah. Come quickly. Quickly. Oops, gotta stop doing that. Yes. Good stick. Good stick. Blue. Catherine, head up, head up, head up. Your defense has it. Spread out. Make your house, Blue. Catherine, you gotta turn it quickly.
In this next video, you can see the progression me and Wayne have as we progress through our practice. We get better and better at keeping the ball up off the ground as we learn and watch each other. In the beginning, I can barely keep the ball up one time around. As the end of the video approaches, I can go around the ball twice, once with each foot before it touches the ground. This is something I could not do before me and Wayne began practicing. Take a look. Key component to learning as a behaviorist is the learning done by watching and copying. I use YouTube for a lot of this. You can watch anything you want on YouTube and then try it for yourself. In these next two videos, I watched Cristiano Ronaldo race a Spain sprinter by the name of Angel. They both have two distinctive styles of running, and through watching and copying them, I have been able to improve my speed myself. Here it is.
Oh look, he jumps into it with 2 feet this turn. Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go there.
Yeah, we can see Angel using 1 foot there to break in one particular stride and to try and push off in the very next. Cristiano's decelerating using both feet.
Yeah.
Places his centre of gravity inside the line of his foot, and away he goes. It's almost like he uses 1 foot primarily for taking the braking force, as we see that inside foot there. Then the outside foot is more for the acceleration force. And Cristiano places approximately 5 body weights worth of force through the outside foot towards the next turn.
So in what...
Alright, today first we have our 25-meter course set up here. We have the zigzag set in here. This is the same 25-meter course we were just doing with a few turns. On the first pass, I'm going to demonstrate Angel, our track athlete style of the single foot turn around the corners. He has less of a lateral movement. It's going to be a lot more straightforward. He's going to turn with 1 foot around each of the corners. On the second pass through, I will demonstrate Cristiano Ronaldo's 5 Gs of deceleration with both feet before he accelerates to the second cone. Here we go.
Chris can learn many things from YouTube and TV, not only athletic things. I also use television or YouTube as a way to learn how to deal with things in life. Here in this last video, you can see Dani Alves as he deals with racism, which is very big in soccer today with the World Cup coming up. As you can see, he is approaching the ball to take a corner kick, and fans in the crowd are throwing bananas, calling him racist names as he approaches the ball. Other players have gotten angry about this. Some decide to act out, some leave the field, but as you can see, Dani Alves takes this in stride. He picks up the banana, takes a bite, and waves at the fans as in appreciation. This is huge to me because I tend to get in some trouble in sports. Watching him be able to deal with this so lighthearted, I can also do the same myself.
The fan believed to have thrown a banana at Dani Alves this past weekend during Barcelona's league clash with Villarreal. The 26-year-old Villarreal supporter has been charged with a crime against the fundamental rights and public freedoms.
Thanks, class, for watching my videos here. I hope you can see where I'm coming from as a behaviorist, wanting classroom culture to be that of the essentialism. I believe that the essentialist classroom is going to teach you the 4 core components that you cannot learn by observing and copying. Therefore, I believe that is what is most important to teach kids in school today. That is for my teaching style. I know we all have different styles, but I hope after this video you can see where I'm coming from. Thanks for watching, guys.